Hi everyone, it's Natalie from a different angle. So I'm going to do a tarot pulse tonight with the Marigold Tarot. So I have never really done a reading with this deck yet, but I can tell you that it does shuffle beautifully. What's not beautiful is trying to do this the way that I am with my, bear with me, this is so ridiculous. I'm trying to do this with my laptop because I don't have a setup with a tripod and a real camera. So let's get this sort of view that everybody can enjoy and appreciate. I have to do a bit of maneuvering. And I had to film it in the dining room, so you may or may not, depending on the angle here. Looks like not. You're not able to see my rats. They're just opposite me here, because where else to put a rat but in the dining room? Ratatouille, right? So I'm giving these a good shuffle. Maybe sometime we'll have to get Sven, Einar, and Eddie out to join us, but probably not while I'm trying to work with tarot cards. These cards are just delicious to shuffle. Okay. So due to what we're going to refer to as like slightly regional differences here in tarot deck languages, so we know this is a very different tarot deck really than any others I've come across, and I know my repertoire is limited, at least comparatively, but it's just a very different deck. Okay. I tend to just enjoy shuffling a lot. I know a lot of us do. And then when I feel like, okay, this is close, then I go ahead and pause and feel the deck. And then I know, okay, I'm going to cut here. Yep, it feels right. So in style of doing this one, these want to play. Okay, we're looking specifically looking for the Hermit, Strength, Justice, and Temperance. Okay, so Temperance is the first player up to bat today, which means the next Cups card I find, I will go ahead and put down. Naturally, they want to be elusive, which is often what I find. Oh, here we go. And look at that. A court card. How fun could that be? Okay. So, I have a little thing with court cards at the moment. There's our Hermit. So, Hermit is Pentacles, and in this deck, it is Rings. Okay, nice. 3 of Rings. Wow. Okay, so, and they're interlinking. This is fun. All right. So the next one, I don't know if you can, yeah, you can kind of see me having to lean around. Sorry, I just keep moving the computer because I'm a rank amateur. But I am a rank amateur having a really good time, so surely that counts for something, right? There is... I'm going to sneak down here off my little stool and come sideways right next to the laptop. I go fishing for... Oh, here we go. I love this strength card so much. How's that for some shadow work? And that little noise in the background was, in fact, one of my rats. Okay, so we're looking for a wand. Oh, and here's justice. So I'm going to say that I will take, because strength came first, the very first wand that comes up will be the one that I choose. And then after that wand is taken care of, I will choose a sword. This is just the way I've been doing it. So here's 2 of swords. I'm going to leave that alone. And an ace. Okay, in favor of this court card, right? Because the universe is wanting me to play with the court cards. That's fine. Thank you so much. It's because I've expressed it as a like, hey, I need more work with this. And this has been the pattern. I will laugh so hard if the next one is a sword, a court of swords of some kind. Okay, let's see what happens. Page of Wands, 10. Oh, and look at that. Okay, this is hysterical. So there we go. This has been this has been my recent pattern that I found. So I'm so excited. I love this deck so much. So a little bit about how, I'm sure this is doing some stuff to my volume here, but I thank you for your patience and for bearing with me. The way that I want to look at these is, to take, of course, as always, to take the intuitive knowledge, or rather the accumulated knowledge and information that I have as a tarot reader about what we find here in these cards. And it's kind of like a good old-fashioned game of yes and improvisation. I'm also going to say, hey, check it out. This is a tarot artist whose culture I am not a part of, but I admire. I'm not completely familiar with all of the symbology that's being used here, but simultaneously, I have a very, very strong intuitive response to it. So I'm going to allow that intuitive response and the position that I'm in right now to give me a good sense of, what I need to do next, or where I am, and how to use the guidance. So that said, we have our first court card here. We have the Page of Cups. So we've got this beautiful skull cup, and as a Tibetan Vajrayana practitioner, this is the part of the skull that we don't use as a cup. So it's kind of interesting from that perspective. But it has a halo. It's a cup, but there's like this beautiful little ring or a halo, right? Surrounding this page, which I really appreciate. So there's something very sacred, very innocent, angels are messengers, right? Things with halos tend to be spirit messengers. And interestingly, Temperance back here has a halo of all its own, right? So our Temperance has a halo. So I'm seeing that as kind of as a sign of divinity and as a divine messenger, divine messenger of the universe. There's oranges and flowers coming out of this cup. So it's pouring over. It's filled to the brim with this beautiful divine energy. And the cup is overflowing with it. The skull cup is overflowing with it. This really, aside from the symbolism being very different, you know, it doesn't really feel that different to me than some other, pages of. Oh, I'm thinking of an ace. Look at that. There's a lot of similarity here between. Whoops! I almost fell off my little stool. A similarity here between an ace of cups in another deck and this page. So that's interesting. That makes me really want to look at what her ace is. And that may take us a few goes here. Oh, here we are. Wow. Okay, so I did not draw the ace. Just want to check my camera so I can see here. You can kind of see there's a little bit of reflection. Yeah, so you can see this is our ace of cups. This is our page of cups. There's a lot of similarity here. I'm going to say in this case, with the page, I'm going to play with this page as the messenger because that's how it feels to me. It feels like it's dropping me a message that's a fullness, emotional fullness, but also rawness, and maybe needing, and I don't really feel raw, though, that's the thing, and I'm seeing this as present moment. I mean, it's fair to say emotional fullness. I'm recording this Sunday night, February 17th, 2019. And I did just finish a show this afternoon that was a fundraiser. It made me feel really happy and connected, and really good. So, to say that my cup is overflowing, there's a message of emotional purity, innocence, fullness, simplicity, ease. My cup is overflowing with just, with a pure kind of like, hey, the world is a good place. It feels really nice at this moment. That would be fair. That would be fair. So I'm going to go with that interpretation right now. But I can see, like, hey, there's some work to be done here between looking at this ace and this page. Look at how similar they are. I mean, it's interesting that the halo, wow, there's a sense of journey, right? If this is an ace, is this backwards for the, no, I think it's the right way for you guys. Okay, there's a journey between like a dotted halo here that's starting out and like something that's maybe, I don't know, planted but not grown, and nurtured maybe a little or fed from the outside to something that's fully matured and, we've got a completed halo. I don't know. But there, I want to work with the author. I want to see what Amrit Brar is bringing to this and how she's working with it. So at some point later tonight, maybe I'll go back through her journey of cups and just see where that goes and if there's any further insights there for me. So moving on, the Three of Rings. So the Three of Rings we know as the Three of Pentacles. And I love this one. This is, on all of her, in her pentacles, discs, coins, rings, suit, the hands are fleshy. They're very earthy. And there's always there are these wonderful tattoos that I don't know what they mean, except that this feels light and gentle and relaxed, like something is being seated or put into place. And I love that the rings are interlocked. The interlocking rings to me speaks volumes of that sense of collaborative effort. The things in the world that are at play that bring us together are together. And something within that is starting to blossom. So really beautiful. And that gives a sense of, how I might start to interpret these other really bizarre, out of the box, original, court cards that we've got here. And seeing tarot as a game, I'm coming over to the other side of the laptop, which I'm sure is audible. But seeing this as a game is really a lot of fun. So we get with our wands, we have the Knight of Wands. And this Knight of Wands he's got a halo again. So we've got, not all the court cards have them. And some of them have bigger halos than others. That seems to be very apparent. But, you know, our Knight of Wands has he's got his halo. He's also like, it's so full. You know, there's so much creativity and enthusiasm spilling out. And that's definitely the place I've been in this evening. You know, I spent the day either preparing for the matinee or going to the matinee and doing the matinee today. And interestingly, you know, after I got finished, that was when I suddenly realized, like, wow, my life is missing some creativity. I'm really feeling a need to do some playing with creativity. And I found that I was just like overcome by it and overcome by a need to just play and create. And in this case, it ended up being playing and creating videos. Sometimes that ends up being like creating and playing and making new artwork. And when I've got more studio space here at my house, which I don't have at the moment, we've got the space. It's just not really set up and ready to go yet, but that will happen soon. And at the moment, it seems to be enough just to be playful. So this Knight of Wands definitely holds that kind of energy. And then we have this really fierce Queen of Swords. And Queen of Swords has been stalking me a lot lately. So I need to begin paying even closer attention to her message. But this particular Queen of Swords feels pretty ruthless, to say the very least. Cutting away anything that's not necessary, slicing away at old beliefs, old things that don't serve, and just taking things, literally picking the sword up, picking it up in hand and slicing through whatever's in the way. Which is interesting. If I were to look at, these three feel like everything that's going on at the moment. The sword suit, and this has been happening a lot. I don't know if this is the intention or not. It's often the case that these three, first three will feel very, I'm not sure what the word is that I want here. They'll feel really relevant to this exact moment that we're in right now. And then the fourth card will really feel like it's what I need to take into the time after. And that's really appropriate. Because I've been having my fun. I've been playing. I have one more video I want to make before I'm done today. But as soon as that's done, there needs to be some serious, like, all right, enough, that's good. I'm glad you got a chance to play. And we're going to sit down and we're going to look at what's coming up this week. And you're going to clean out your rat cage and, tend to business. So get down to the tasks that you don't necessarily enjoy as much as playing, but which are equally as necessary. So that's kind of what I'm feeling there from this court card or from this particular Queen of Swords. Yeah, she's different than what I'm used to, for sure. Anyway, there we are. So there's Tarot Pulse. I had my tree spirit cards here, and just in case, I wasn't quite sure what to do with these, but they feel pretty spot on. And they weren't as hard to read as I expected. But we'll play with more of this as time goes on. And I think I'm just going to continue using different decks, because playing with different decks to do these readings and just literally working with, okay, who is the author and what does this author say about this particular card. That's a fun place for me to engage from. All right, folks, thank you so much. I'll talk to you soon.